Today I want to tell you the story of 1,000 Bells and how I came to be a writer here in France. In a sidewalk cafe in the heart of Harare, Zimbabwe, my sister and I sat chatting. We were there waiting for her agent and friend William to arrive. You see, my sister is an artist, and William, over the years, has sold her paintings from all over the world, from the Americas to Southeast Asia to Europe, all through Africa. Thanks to William, she's been quite a success. I wasn't sure why we were meeting William, but as usual, when my sister couldn't find better company than her little sister, I followed. This wasn't ever a difficult decision, because my sister has a way of making the mundane and boring seem fun and exciting. We sat chatting on white plastic chairs made yellow through the harsh African sun, drinking terrible coffee, smoking cigarettes, acting older than our teenage years, overlooking a grey, crowded parking lot. William arrived. He sat down and ordered his coffee, and then he handed my sister something, a gift. A stone, a brilliant blue lapis lazuli, something he had worn around his neck for many years that she had often remarked she really liked. So he thought to give it to her as a going away present. We were moving to South Africa. As William got up and tied the stone around her neck, he turned to me and asked why I wasn't talking. And I said in my sulky adolescent way, which was my way throughout adolescence, that I was upset and unhappy that I didn't too get a gift. William didn't skip a beat. He put his hand into his pocket and pulled out a bell, a tiny little brass bell, and gave it to me. My sister and I laughed. At that stage, I wasn't aware of all the uses for bells. I knew that you use bells to keep stock of domesticated animals. There were religious connotations to bells, and we use bells to keep track of time. But one thing we both, my sister and I, knew very well was that bells are used in witchcraft as love lore. Bells draw love to you. My sister laughed. She turned to William and said, "But William, bells are for love." Then William looked at me and said, "In that case, I will give you 1,000 of them." What followed was 3 decades of me receiving bells. William also declared that each bell would be as unique and special, individual, coming with a little story of significance of some sort. He wouldn't just give me a bag of bells. True to his word, as the bells started to arrive, each one was special. Bells arrived in my home in Zimbabwe. Through all the suburbs we moved, and then later when I moved to South Africa to study, bells started arriving in South Africa too. Bells continue to arrive here. For the first decade or so, bells arrived fast and furious. There wasn't a week that passed where I didn't receive bells. He sent bells from the northernmost parts of Scotland. He sent Christmas bells, handbells. He sent bells that had once been used as doorbells in galleries. Bells he picked up at thrift stores and Christmas markets. A set of blackbirds strung up on top of a single bell. And then after some time, the bells stopped coming as often. William explained that he had met someone. He had fallen in love, started a family, and that the bells were no longer as important to him as they had been. I was sad receiving bells across continents and oceans for the better part of 10 years had made me feel special. It's enough to make anybody feel special and loved. But I was more sad that I'd never told William that just the sound of a bell somewhere ringing always reminded me that I was loved. And then bells 73 through 93 arrived on a cold, rainy spring day here in Tochamot. All of them, except one, engraved on a beautiful leather journal that William had made. He had embossed the leather and then painstakingly painted each bell in blues and yellows and oranges. Each bell, true to his word, completely different from the next, with a page separator attached a bell from Barcelona that he had picked up 10 years earlier. The leather journal, thick A4, filled with 160 pages of writing pages. A book beautiful and unique, special. A book grand enough to write this beautiful story in, which is what I'm doing now.